change. And then it kind of goes into yellow's synthetic drugs, which became really a huge part of how cancer would be treated, because they weren't able to create certain enzymes and certain parts of it that were needed from natural. They didn't have like enough resources. And then it kind of goes back to the ancient times where they have manuscripts that kind of illustrate versions of cancer. So cancer has been around for a really long time. It was a disease that did not have a name, but people knew what it was. It was associated with the four humors of the body, and how one of the treatments would be if you had cancer, you needed to remove one of the humors. And then it kind of goes forward to Halsted, who created a mastectomy, which is basically cutting away deep into the cavity of the body. And the only way you can get rid of cancer in those days was thought to be surgery, and if you couldn't get rid of it, you just have to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And then it goes into World War I and how basically during the wars, drugs were developed that could help improve people's living conditions with cancer, and how basically those drugs would help treat cancer. But unfortunately, during the wars, they became synthetic weapons and gases that would be used against other.
The book discusses the patients who had cancer and how in the beginning of the time with AIDS, when there was no cure for AIDS, they started to try to get cures on their own, and that flowed into cancer treatments because they didn't have any good treatments for cancer either. So it started near the end of it talking about how patients and doctors were working together to work for a cure, which they partially found with the HER2 and the cancer genetic treatments. So they'd find the specific stuff in the cancer that they treat.
The study of cancer has also led to a lot of other discoveries, such as Marie Curie and the discovery of the X-ray, which she used to search for tumors within the body, and that made it easier for surgery to remove tumors. Also, when people began studying for that or researching the cause of cancer, it led to the discovery of retroviruses, which are viruses that instead of turning DNA into RNA, turn RNA back into DNA, which is thought to be a big cause for cancer. The book also focuses on the life of a cancer patient named Carla. Throughout the book, it takes intermittent breaks from the discussions about cancer to look at Carla's case and how she does throughout her struggle with cancer, and eventually she does survive. Throughout the book, besides Carla, there are also numerous other cases of cancer and patients with cancer that the author talks about and relates about their struggle with cancer.
Impact on your life.
Well, personally, I have a family member who has cancer, and I feel like seeing someone suffer through breast cancer can be something very difficult to deal with. You learn to realize that it's not easy because it has a lot of a toll on your life, and a lot of people end up being very tired, and even if they get treatment for it, and even if they get therapy, therapy can be very, very terrible because, well, one, it's economically not good, but two, it's also stressful and painful and exhausting. And I feel like there should be more research on cancer and oncology, and especially different kinds of cancer like brain tumor, things that are virtually not treatable. And I mean, a lot of people, when they think of cancer, their lives are away from it, but there are a lot of people right now, a lot of women, especially middle-aged, who end up being diagnosed with cancer, and it completely changes your life, and especially the life of the people around you and your family members.
close to you had it?
Well, my grandmother has had cancer before, and she passed away because of it. So I kind of know secondhand, kind of being through their chemotherapy treatments, and just know what's going to be happening. So, I would go.
I really like the book Maladies because it follows the life of someone who suffered from cancer and just the change that she had to go through because of it. It also provided a lot of useful information and how medicine progressed from ancient times to modern and the amount of money that we're putting towards cancer research now as opposed to what we did before. And I think it's just produces a really good timeline of the evolution of how things
The
change.
Emperor of All Maladies is a great book. It's very informative about the different treatments that cancer has had over time, getting back to the ancient times in Egypt to what's currently being used to treat cancer. And it's a great book, has a great story, it's very informative. It uses a person's life to kind of make it a more personal and intimate story, and I think that makes it more entertaining towards the reader and makes you able to identify with what's happening.
Emperor of All Maladies is best because of its accessibility. You can be a professional who's looking to be inspired or just a regular person looking to learn, and it's really understandable. There's nothing too complicated, but it still goes into complicated stuff. So it's very informative.
Emperor of All Maladies is a great book, I think. It combines both personal narratives of especially a woman named Carla who deals with her own case of cancer, as well as a lot of facts and the timeline of cancer and how it progresses, as well as treatments for it and different cases and how society was affected at various times throughout the 1900s.
The end of Carla's journey. Okay, cool. One of the most important quotes in Emperor of All Maladies is, "It was an uneasy triangle of forces, academic researchers, the pharmaceutical industry,